Hi everybody, Al Bernstein here with another one of my video blogs. There has been much discussion in the last week or so in the world of boxing about the proposal that Golden Boy Promotions made to Top Rank Inc. To have an Abner Mares Nonito Donaire unification match or big match at 122 pounds. And it's a match that appears, for the moment at least, again, will not happen. The two sides couldn't figure out a way to make it happen. And now there's talk of Abner Mares moving up to 126 pounds, where he said he wanted to go anyway, but would have stayed around had they been able to make a mega fight between he and Nonito Donaire. This whole story, to me, is filled with implications, larger implications, for the sport of boxing. Now, obviously, it's easy, and people will do this, depending on their viewpoint or just simply depending on how they read this story, to point fingers at either side, whether it's Top Rank or Golden Boy, the fighters, their managers, you name it. And maybe that's appropriate. But at this juncture, I'm just more worried about the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is this. As we move on in the next couple years in boxing, the two major promotional groups, Golden Boy and Top Rank, are going to continue to be the major players, most likely, in the sport. They both control large blocks of fighters who are terrific fighters, but they have shown apparently an unwillingness or inability to work with each other to make big fights in the last couple of years. And what that does is it forces them to do some very good fights on both ends, but good fights that are intramural, if you will, that involve fighters they have under contract, or at the best, they do it with a smaller promoter who is willing to work with them. And there are promoters out there like that, whether it's Gary Shaw or Lou DiBello and his company, Goose and Tudor, the Duvas and Main Events, you name it. There are a lot of companies there that will work with those two groups. But the problem is they're not working with each other. And so a Donaire-Abner Mares fight to me is a flashpoint for what is the larger issue in boxing. Brandon Rios is going to fight Mike Alvarado on the 30th of March. A fantastic fight, a rematch of what I believe was the best fight last year. Two terrific fighters. But I think most boxing fans would also like to see Rios and Alvarado fight other people. And in the 140-pound division, which is probably the best division in boxing, many of those other fighters happen to be Golden Boy fighters, whether it's Amir Khan or Lucas Matisse or Danny Garcia. And so we're not seeing those kinds of matches. And without laying blame on anybody, the fact of the matter is it is detrimental to boxing. So this is a plaintive cry for those two organizations to figure out a way to do business together, because it has larger implications for the sport of boxing. And I think most of you know I'm not one of those cry wolf kind of fellows. I don't look for gloom and doom as it relates to the sport. The sport is doing really well right now, and there are great matches being made. But if this situation persists, I think it's going to be a serious detriment to the sport of boxing. So, fingers crossed, maybe there's a way to avoid more of these Donaire-Mares situations in the future.